Okay, so despite my better judgment, that's not true. We are going to talk about the Saltine issue, um, and we are. You can sing it in like opera or something. I guess so, maybe. We're gonna watch the quartering drunk, talking about how Vosh and Hassan Piker got banned, for hate speech from Twitch. Just so everybody, I am not going to say the forbidden word. But yeah, here we go.
There's no such thing as cancel culture. This would appear to be what they like to refer to as consequence culture. In fact, it would appear that Twitch, for some bizarre reason, decided to evenly enforce their own rules, and two of the world's most prominent champagne socialists.
He's already so drunk. He's so drunk. I swear to God.
Two of the people with some of the most heinous opinions I've ever heard, in my opinion, received bans from the platform on the very same day, with one of them being permanent. Now, what were these bans for? Well, they were saying terrible things about a group of people.
Not exactly true. One was, one wasn't. One was just discussing the actual word itself, and very openly saying it. But yeah, we'll get into the context of this in a minute. I want to hear Jeremy stumble over this.
Group of people that is normally you're allowed to say things about, according to progressive politics, but for whatever reason, Twitch decided to enforce some rules. Now,
progressive politics does not say that it's okay to be an asshole to people, especially for like their immutable characteristics, like their race or their gender or their sexual orientation. No, it does not does not promote that at all. It's very, very strange to hear him create this this frankly bullshit argument, but whatever.
Now, I don't as far as I know, depending on, for example, Vosh's history, I don't celebrate anybody's permanent ban.
Except you are. You are. Come on, Jeremy, just fucking own it.
Even though I strongly disagree with the things that both of these people say, I wouldn't want them banned permanently. Now, I've been informed that this is like Hassan's third ban for saying terrible things, and Vosh has received other bans too. So because Twitch doesn't actually have a clear system, it's difficult to support any kind of permanent ban from them. With YouTube, you receive your third strike, it's coming for the most part. There's a clear line of delineation, and when you cross it, you get permanently banned. So it's
true. I will agree with him on that. There does not seem to be a very clear cut delineation, like when they're like, okay, that's too much, and then boom. How many bans has Jeremy gotten? I don't know. I don't know if he has. Jeremy manages to weasel out of some pretty wild shit at times, but despite the fact that he spews a bunch of garbage, he manages to stay in the margins. So whatever, it is what it is.
It's easier to kind of say well, you knew better. With Twitch, they don't enforce their own rules evenly. And
I don't believe people on the left as a whole promotes that, but there are definitely people on the left who do. Yeah, sure, yeah. And those people are assholes. That's the thing is I get really frustrated sometimes when people anytime somebody who's a political commentator and they say the left, I get so fucking annoyed because I have absolutely no problem. I am on the left. I have no problem looking at bad behavior who are on the left and being like, those people suck. They're assholes. I don't like them and I don't agree. I have no problem with that. But when you say, well, the left, in broad strokes, that includes me. Am I doing that? I don't think so.
We see this with the tub meta and all this other stuff. So regardless of both of these people's history of bans, I don't know that I would call using the term cracker.
He said it. Oh, no. Jeremy, canceled. Disavow. Hey, I disavow use of that word. Disavow.
something that would be, on its own worth a permanent ban. But I guess that's what they call consequence culture. Before we get into the hilarity of this story,
Okay, consequence culture as a concept is totally fine. But Jeremy's not using that in that way. He's just trying to like laugh at what people say. People say that it's not necessarily a cancel culture; it's consequences for your actions. But at the same time, like that's true though, and in this case, it also is true. It is true. I would say that there might be a case that you could make that Twitch should have, rather than very quickly banned, just for the simple utterance of the term, put out a statement that they do consider it on that same level, and that way people can be informed enough that they're like, okay, yeah, we can't say that. That'd be fine. That'd be totally fine. But they didn't, and what happened. So whatever.
I just want to point out that I take some, schadenfreude a little bit. I'm only human. But, based on just saying cracker or something like that,
Stop
I'm
saying
not
it.
a fan of a permaban. For either of these people, again, I would rather their opinions be right out there in the open, so that they can be disinfected by sunlight versus, banning people. What's an interesting thing is, so essentially both of these people were banned for hate speech, for using the term cracker as a pejorative for white people. I think that, context matters with these type of terms.
Okay.
I think there's like, you have like the hard R, which Vosh has no problem saying. And then all the other naughty words, right? The hard R is on a different level. I think we all can agree on that. Whether or not.
But the question is, Jeremy, why is it? Is there a reason why that word might be considered worse? Could there be like historical, social, context? Maybe. And I'm really kind of curious what his opinion is when it comes to Vosh, because the two instances are actually very different. One of them, Hassan, like legit was just using it as a slur at people, whereas Vosh openly said that yes, it is a racialized slur. Yeah, it is. And like that he would still use it, but as far as I know on his stream he didn't call anybody that. Don't think so.
Not that's warranted. That's not what I'm saying, but I am saying it's treated quite differently, especially obviously here in America.
But why? Why?
But the fact of the matter is, when you're using this term, am I offended if someone calls me a cracker? No, words don't hold that power over me.
Oh, you get offended about all sorts of shit, Jeremy. Come on.
But especially that one. But it is a term. It is hate speech. It is a term that is defined, at least currently, as a racist term. And they weren't using it in a like as an example of, or like a defining
Vosh was
it. They were using it as a pejorative for white people and doubling down on it. Now I saw the clip that got Hassan banned, and that was exactly what happened. The clip, Vosh, he's got a more, speckled past history with Twitch from what I can tell.
Okay.
But I mean, famous last words and
Karen
everything.
a slur then? Yeah.
okay. So he's finally, and Jeremy's so drunk he can't even get. Yeah, fucking Jesus Christ. We're not gonna play the part where he's listening to Vosh's thing, because that actually might get me in trouble.
Juxtaposed with the classic Curb Your Enthusiasm music, that he has received a permanent ban. Now, Hassan, I guarantee, isn't permanent, but it's...
Somebody's asking who Hassan is. Hassan is, like, the biggest lefty Twitch streamer. I don't watch him. I mean, I don't really have opinion on him one way or the other. I don't watch him. I watch Vosh now and then because I've met him and like I know him, and I found him to be very insightful and very charming, and I like him as a person. I don't agree with everything he says, but yeah, I think he's a pretty good dude.
Interesting watching the game's media cover this. We have that weirdo Nathan Grayson, right, saying Twitch has suspended two popular political streamers, Hassan and Vosh, for using the word which Twitch seemingly considers a slur. Well, actually, the dictionary considers it a slur. 100 years of history in this country considers it a slur. But, again, there's one group of people that you're allowed to say heinous things about, and you get promoted and you get, worshipped for it. Do I think?
How? Who? Where? What? In what way? Who is getting like celebrated because they're being mean to white people? I don't like maybe small niche groups of people here and there, but like I think if you were to poll enough people about Hassan, right? I think most people would be like, I don't really see what the big deal is. And then the next bigger group would be like, well, that is pretty inappropriate, and I don't like it, But it would only be a pretty small subset of people who are like, it is totally fine, totally fine. And I think those people would be wrong, I fucking don't think that's necessarily right. But I'm also not going to exacerbate it into like, actually, they're very oppressed because of this word.
That
Come on.
Hassan and Vosh thought they were, that they were untouchable by using this term. Yeah, I do believe that. I do believe neither of them actually thought they were going to be banned for it.
Vosh even said, just came right out, and he was like, yeah, I could. And I'm going to talk about it, and I don't give a shit. He knew, and what he thought was going to happen happened. So I don't know how much more I can handle, like, Jeremy being drunk and babbling dumb shit. So let's find a good pause screen. There we go. All right. Where do I go if I enjoy watching people being mean to each other? I mean, we're all still mean to each other. It's the internet, When you don't really face too many like immediate consequences for things, people tend to just behave rather badly. I don't believe Jeremy, and when he says he has a bit of Schadenfreude with it, I believe that, but I think it's a lot more. I don't trust Jeremy to have any convictions at all because I think Jeremy is 100% a grifter and he doesn't believe a fucking word that comes out of his mouth. I just don't. But when it comes to the whole discourse around this word, I tend to agree. It is a racial slur. Yeah, lots of things are slurs. Tons of things are slurs. So what? The main thing that there's two main things that I think people need to take away from it. Number one is that it's not necessarily the problem with a word is not necessarily the word itself. It's the intent of the word. So if you just say the C word, but you don't call somebody it in hate, I don't really see a big problem with it. And I don't feel like it is verboten. But, that's just how I feel about it. It's the intent behind the word. It's the effort that you're trying to put into it. What you're trying to achieve that really defines it as being bad. It's still a slur, but whether or not it's bad or how bad it is. And then the other part of it, and it really comes down to like the notion of banning. I've been talking about this for a long time. This is the most realistic part of when it comes to like cancel cultures and bans and things like that. Companies don't actually have ethical or moral principles when it comes to these things. They don't care. They don't give a shit. Twitch does not care about that word. It doesn't care about a moral or principled stance on that fucking word. It doesn't care. The C word, Cracker. That's the word that we're discussing. They don't care. I don't even think they give that much of a shit about the N-bomb either, because Twitch is ultimately a business, and all of these social media companies are businesses, and they are run, and their ethics and their moral standards are run on whether or not they're going to be able to maintain a standard of economic growth and profit. Simple as that. If they allow certain types of behavior, and it could hurt their ability to maintain their advertisers, they will ban you. They're going to let Hassan back on because Hassan makes them a fuckload of money. So this is not an ethical or moral problem. It's not. It's a fucking economic problem. That is how it is handled by Twitch. Simple as that. Would you just say the C word in reference to the food? I don't fucking know, man. I don't know. But look, just get more creative in the way that you insult people, okay? There are plenty of other hilarious ways to refer to people. Just avoid. You just have to be more clever about it, and that's all there is to it. So yeah, the business is going to do what a business is going to do. That's me maintaining my principles when it comes to how I feel about cancel culture and bans. So yeah, there you go. Jeremy, please sober up before you record videos. I say as somebody who misbehaves drunk plenty. But whatever.